past 11.5 months, I have posted 4 audience polls where you, the viewer, have been able to decide a new game that I play and review. In chronological order of this year, those games have been Blanc, Have a Nice Death, and Minecraft Legends. That's not a great track record. The 4th game on the list is Hellboy: Web of Weird. The question you should be asking is, has it redeemed you? Let's find out.
My vacation is not thine to claim.
Web of Weird is a roguelike beat-em-up in the style of the Hellboy comics themselves. It's sort of the main thing that it has going for it. Crystal clear outlines and colors that pop out of the screen, along with a flat texture that makes you feel as if you're flipping through the pages of this weirdly framed story at a rapid pace of 60 pages per second. The story goes that an agent of the BPRD has gone missing inside a mysterious dimension called the Weird, or the Word, however they want to pronounce it, and Hellboy needs to get them out. At first I thought that this was going to be the main focus of the game, but you find the guy in about 5 minutes, and that's the tutorial. The rest of the game is you venturing deeper into this alien realm to further research its sudden appearance. Every time you die, your tether breaks and you're forced back to reality, where you can restock your items and buy upgrades. Standard roguelike behavior. But this is where we get into the problems that Web of Weird has. Everything that makes a roguelike work isn't present here. You can look at some of the best roguelikes out there and see that what makes them work is usually a rapid movement system that is fluid and satisfying, or a very deep and detailed combat system. Having a great variety in enemies and abilities doesn't hurt either. The problem is that Web of Weird doesn't have any of this. The movement is awkward and sluggish, the fights are slow, enemies are very basic with little to no variety and no intelligence at all. The weakest enemies here die in a single hit. They also die automatically once you kill all of the bosses in the room. They won't even attack you unless the boss tells them to, which doesn't often happen. There's literally zero reason to engage with them at all. Even the bosses serve very little challenge. All of their attacks are easily blockable and dodgeable. The few rooms that have more than one of them weren't any more challenging, because whichever one is closer will attack you while the other just hangs back. The environments here are stark and empty, made to feel all the worse by the fact that the levels are just battle arenas connected by winding hallways filled with nothing. Occasionally they contain traps. You can just walk around them. I should probably clarify at this point, after hammering it so much, that I refunded this game, because after over an hour of fighting the same enemies over and over again to the exact same music, you start to go a little insane. Throwing a punch, your most basic ability, is unsatisfying. It barely registers that you've done anything at all. Reloading your gun takes far too much time. Even shooting it means the game chooses an enemy at random to be your target, unless you lock on to choose a target. The target that it chooses to lock onto also seemingly works at random. Even sprinting feels slow. How do you make going faster feel slow? Once you've made it through enough of what looks to be the exact same arenas, you can descend further into the Weird, where everything is exactly the same, but with a darker filter applied to it. In the 90 minutes of this game that I played, there were 2 things I enjoyed. One was the art style. Again, it really does look awesome. The other, well actually no. The other is this really cool visual effect you get every time you start a new run. I just kind of like it. So really there's 3 things. The third thing is the special move that Hellboy can use once he's charged it up enough. This is as close as the game gets to feeling fluid or energetic or, just like anything cool is happening. What makes it difficult to use, however, is that it seems to charge up more whenever you're taking massive amounts of damage. Not blocking, not dodging, getting slammed directly in the face. Take for instance the first real boss fight, where I was able to use Hellboy's special attack a total of 3 times, where I could previously use it once every 3 or 4 battles. That's because holy fuck, this guy is a step up above everything else that you've fought so far. Most of his attacks are fairly standard and can be avoided if you're better at the game than I am, but one move of his is this reckless sprint that is so hard to avoid, as well as the sweeping punch that has a huge range. Am I doing something wrong? I need help here, really. I feel like I was doing something wrong. I probably was. Okay, now don't get me wrong. I've been ragging on this game for the last few minutes because it was not that fun, but it's not because it was tremendously bad. It's just that all of its problems are surface level. The game works, it looks great, and maybe I would have stuck around if it had offered more early on, but it just doesn't play well, and there's no real promise at anything better. It's not awful, it's just disappointing. Yeah. Sorry, Hellboy. Now, like I said, you've all chosen 4 games for me this year, and pretty much all of them have been stinkers to some degree. Luckily for you, I'm a big believer in 5th chances. So you better hope that Tintin, Cigars of the Pharaoh, can be your big win, because you voted for it. You voted for Tintin, Cigars of the Pharaoh. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Tintin, but I mean, I was looking forward to RoboCop.